Yo, what's up, Johnny? What's up, Ed Ramian? Ed Ramian? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. If you went back to college, what would you major in? I would probably do the same exact thing that I did, and I would do it finance because that's where my passions lined up. And I would be a financial advisor still if I were to go back and uh, do things over again. I would actually probably follow the same path. I might do something a little bit differently with my career path, but probably not because everything worked out well. Mute these tabs. What are you weighing, Johnny? Do 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 do. That's very true. I am not as rich as Elon Musk. I don't even know if you're talking about me. But if you are, it is true. I am not as rich as Elon Musk. He has let my secret out. I was hoping everyone would know that I was as rich, or that I was not as rich as Elon. I also plan on going majoring in finance. I'm taking accounting right now, and I kind of hate it. Yeah, that is how it goes. Hey, what's up, UGI? Hello. But yeah, I could not do accounting. Accounting was not for me, or is not for me. Any advice on wealth management? Yes, I have a lot of advice. But tell me more about your question. Hey, Rosemary, welcome. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, I am a free financial advisor. I'm a certified financial planner professional. I've been one since 2014. I worked at Vanguard for over 13 years, and I quit my job to help millions of people achieve financial literacy through advice and education. Any specific advice? Yes. So, number one, you're going to want to find your. Hey, what's up, Rilo? You're going to want to find a company that aligns with how you want to do business. So, to be specific with you, I can drag this over a little bit here. To be specific with you, if you work at a corporate financial or wealth advisor like Vanguard or um, Fidelity or any of these big guys, right? You're going to do you're going to do it a certain way, and your earnings are capped. Whereas if you go private, you can actually uncap your earnings potential. So that's a big thing. Find where your ethics align and go there. What do you think of those pieces of advice? I want to go down a path that you actually care about, if you know what I mean, Johnny. Have you ever thought about opening up your own wealth management firm? Yes, and I don't want to do it. Part of the reason I wanted to go this path is just how things work. Um, I just don't want to manage people's money. I want to teach people how to manage their money. I don't want to go through all the processes and everything to manage money. I just don't see a huge benefit to it unless you're trying to make as much money as possible. Hey, what's up, Daniel? How much is it to keep your beard maintained? It's free. It's free. But I do things a little bit differently with the beard for sure. I don't use beard oil or anything like that. I used to, but now I use, this is going to be wild, but I use Vaseline. I know that sounds crazy, but it's awesome. Man, I don't like Vaseline. I feel you. But once I started putting it on my face and on my beard, it makes it shiny. It makes it soft. It keeps it hydrated. It's good for your face. It was just the best. There's no other products in it. I totally feel you though. I was 100% apprehensive on using it. But yeah, Johnny, opening up my own, yeah, it can feel weird. Hey, thanks, Yaruma. Wait, Yar Yar Mohammed Live. I think I got it. Thank you. It's actually bigger than it looks too. So it's like 14 inches, 14-inch beard. I think Mohammed is the most popular name in the world. I have a 5-year fixed rate annuity, and now I think it's too long of a time. Why? Tell me, Diane. Tell me why it's too long. Ah, okay. So, are you not able to withdraw for 5 years? I'm 41, Mohammed. So yeah, if you can't use it until you're 76, that is rough. Baz 22. I dig it. Already caring about money. I like it. Give yourself advice, broski. I don't know what advice to give myself that I wouldn't give to you as well. I don't remember, but think has to stay in. I'd have to know more about your policy, Diane. Um, like, is it past the surrender period? Are you going to pay fees and all that? Don't get married. That's solid financial advice. Listen, it's possible that you could lose half while you get married, but being married can also drive you to do things you would have never done before. It's very true. You can't buy time, Mohammed. So going back on what you said earlier about how you wanted people to manage their own money instead, would you say that wealth managers are kind of middlemen and overcharge in some cases? Sure. I do think there are some wealth managers that overcharge for what they're doing, but my main concern is that most people don't understand that there are many options out there. But I do believe that there are a segment of people who wealth managers are very good for them. They should absolutely use wealth managers because they don't have the time, willingness, or ability. You know what I mean? That's why I'm single. Yo, what's up, Nightlights? Way out. How's it going, brother? Favorably 1 year in. Yes, fees if withdraw early. Yeah, it's kind of tough. So, what sort of questions do you have, Diane? Mikhail's coming in hot today. Not bad. It's been super busy. Hey, have you still been doing all the posting stuff? Because I completely disappeared off the face of the earth after my child was born. And we're just getting back into the groove. Like, I literally just started streaming regularly again yesterday. Let's see here. I think you can make your own investment decisions. You only need to do some research and also wait for better results. You never become rich in some time. I mean, because of your Diane, I'm going to answer that in a second. So, Mohammed, you can definitely make your own investment decisions, but there's a lot of people who don't spend their time doing this. There's a lot of people who have spent all their time working and with their family. They don't know anything about this, and they don't want to know anything about this. They just want it to be taken care of. So, get it taken care of, you know? So the 5 year thing, Diane, because of your age, is interesting. But again, I have to know more about your policy. So when you say like a 5 year fix, are you collecting? Are you getting paid on the annuity now, or the payments don't start for a while? Sold a house and had to do something with the money. All right. In the future, if you end up in a cash windfall, other things you can consider if income is important to you is buying like a bond fund or an income fund. And the reason that could be good, you might get less income per month or per year, but you get to keep all the money, right? If you took 200,000 and you bought a fixed annuity, you could have taken that same 200,000, bought an income fund, kept the 200,000, and then gotten some of that fund, or I'm sorry, some of that gain. Matt Turner, let's go Blue Jays. Are you telling people to bet that, or are you saying you bet that? And aren't they down 2-1 right now? What's your favorite investment, Beardio? Well, it depends on what it's for. I'm gonna go long term, and yeah, I got you, Johnny. Any questions you got, you let me know. You can call me Luke, free advice guy, free woke, Beardo. I don't care. It's all good. Yeah. Okay, Diane. I mean, that's rough at your age. That's rough at your age. What happens if you were to pass away in 2 years? And I'm really sorry for that direct question. So my favorite investment, if we're taking long term, north of 10 years, let's say 20 years, and we're aggressive, I think my favorite investment is actually VTI, or the Total Stock Market Index Fund. Goes to nephew. All right. So he will collect the annuity payments, or will he get a cash value? Break on through to the other side. Break on through. The animation is turning into a movie. Hey, I like it. Hey, it's a great question, Mikhail. Do I like dividend stocks? I like all stocks, Mikhail, but there are things about them, right? Because the thing that's happening right now is dividend stocks are becoming popular. People are working. They're buying dividend stocks that are producing income, and then they eventually want to get enough income from the dividends to stop working. But if they do that, their taxable income every year is incredibly high if it's in taxable accounts. So if you're going to buy them, I like to buy them in tax advantageous ways, like inside of IRAs or things like that. I got stock dividends now, cash value. Okay. Give me some advice if you live in a very unstable country where you can invest your money, which can beat inflation rate. I mean, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee, Mohammed, what inflation's going to do and what the market's going to do. And you also have to have a time horizon for that money. I mean, even right now, money markets are paying a decent rate. Are they keeping up with inflation? Depends on what inflation you are looking at. Yeah, AI, I mean, I doubt it's going to become less prevalent. Yo, what's up, Joe? Welcome. I don't know that it's going to become less prevalent, Mikhail, but I don't know how much it will also continue to affect the market. What questions you got about Bitcoin, Joe? I mean, my country is not doing well, but still stock market all-time high. I don't know. You can't even trust anything. Yeah, but if you look at the history of the stock market, it's generally done this, right? There's every day or every few weeks, every few months, there's a new all-time high, right? 10 years ago, there was an all-time high. 20 years ago, there was an all-time high. As more money enters it goes into circulation, the more money can end up in the stock market. Losses. Stop the bleed or wait for the upticks. So I don't do any of that, Mikhail. When I buy something, I buy it forever and I never sell it. Yeah, I don't do any day trading. Yeah, taxes could definitely be killer. I'm also not a huge fan of the time. And it's also like 97% plus of people who day trade lose. Either they lose money or they don't keep up with the stock market, right? So you got to decide which one you want there. I've done some research on this topic, then I find out myself that they just print a lot of money, and that's why stock market all-time high. That is a reason, Mohammed. That is a reason. Tax you infinitely on gains and only so much loss coverage. Yeah, I mean, in the same year you can offset things, but moving forward, they definitely cap you on that. But Uncle Sam always wants his piece, you know? Everything is valuable based on availability and market value. Yep. I want Joe to come in and ask his Bitcoin questions. Uncle Sam is rough. Let's abolish the IRS. What do we say? Bitcoin is for the right type of person. I don't think it's for most people, and it's not to say that it can't make people super rich. But it's literally nothing, and it only has value because you and I say it has value. So, um, I personally, if I were to, I have no Bitcoin. If I were to invest it, I would only invest an amount that I'd be okay if it went to zero, for the chance that it goes to a crazy amount. I think only safe investment in unstable country is land. Okay, I mean that's a good way to look at it. Land should always have some sort of value. Yeah, sort of, Mikhail, but it's my problem with all of um, cryptocurrency is that it's not real. We don't know what quantum computing is going to do to it, but it's just not a real thing. It doesn't have any intangible assets. My cousin buys a lot of gold. Good idea. It depends on what the gold is for, Diane. Like, is he buying it because he thinks the world is coming to an end and gold will be good? Is he doing it to keep pace with inflation? Like, right? It all depends on why you're buying the gold, and really anything. They Bitcoin have no use. I think it's better to invest in gold. Well, hold on. So, Mohammed, it's true that there's an actual intangible value to. There's actual value in gold, use cases for it. Um, yeah. So I mean that's all part of it, and it's not to say Bitcoin can't go to a bajillion dollars a coin. That's definitely possible, you know. Guess he thinks value will increase. I mean, gold has been on an absolute tear. Yo, what's up, big homie? Um, Gold has been on an absolute tear. But one of the main issues I have with both the gold and the silver market is that they are manipulated. Both gold and silver even more so, should be worth more than what they are currently worth. The problem I have with Bitcoin is government could just, yeah, that's also my thing. It's decentralized, but many things could nuke it. Technology, really anything. Hello, Imran. So yeah, metals is a really any investment has to align with you, but yeah. Hey, I appreciate it, Diane. I'm a certified financial planner professional. If that matters to you, feel free to tell your friends about me. We can have conversations on Discord and different things like that. So if you ever want to have like an actual conversation, we can do that. I like it, Diane. How to be a billionaire. To become a billionaire, it's pretty much at the point now you have to create something. You got to create a business or something crazy to get there. I think the only reason why people are poor and struggling because banks are printing a lot of money and they are giving loans to the government and they take high interest back, so you never win. I mean, that doesn't help the value of our dollar, but most people are poor because of bad decisions. It's not to say things aren't hard and make things more difficult, but most people are in a bad decision because or a bad position because of their decisions. Yeah, I don't know that you could ever save to become a billionaire. Imagine the amount of money you would have to save to get to a billion in assets. That's crazy. I do not know Pakistani politicians. I apologize. Well, saving doesn't necessarily mean just out in the bag. Well, for sure. I just to get to $1 billion, I don't think about the salary you'd have to be able to save enough to eventually have $1 billion. That's all I'm saying. It's just difficult, but it can be done. It can be done. Yo, what's up, Soft? I don't know if you saw it, but we're streaming on Instagram as well. Real estate, possibly, if you're willing to take out enough loans and be leveraged enough to have that, but you still have to take your assets minus your liabilities to get your net worth. And I still, uh, even if you're making $1 million a year, I don't know that you could save enough to get to a billion. Real estate loans are the best. I mean, they have generally better rates than almost everything else. Okay, here we go, Mikhail. You only have to invest 200,000 a month for 40 years at 10% to be a billionaire. I mean, U.S. economy affect you and me both, and I am not even living there or earning like you, so I do not have a good starting point in this case. I mean, that's where you start in life is a big indicator on whether or not you will be successful as well, Mohammed. Yeah, I don't want to discount that. I was raised by a single mom, so I had to build up from the bottom. Hey, Worsay is a millionaire, although it does say milliner. I'm just giving you a hard time. Are you really a millionaire? That's the question. He mints million coins. There we go. He walks around with a million coin in there. I'm in America, Worsay. Where are you? Me too. I love America as well. I think no, I can't stream live on TikTok at the same time. Soft. They will not allow me to have Streamlabs TikTok access. Tajikistan. But I wouldn't consider my life hard at all. Like if you were to list things out about me on paper, you could see, or you could maybe say like, oh, that's difficult. Um, but in reality, I love my life. I have no complaints about how difficult or whatever it was. What do you think about art? so you could actually get something decent. Are you talking about like buying? Man, the best investment decision was buying. This was 14 years ago, but was buying the total stock market index fund and letting it ride. Oh yeah, but Streamlabs, I'm not allowed to stream on TikToks on Streamlabs right now. I can only use the TikTok app, unfortunately. Did you get the alert today, Soft? I did stream on TikTok earlier. I just want to own a big parking lot for trucks with about 50 to 7 parking spaces in charge. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, big homie. See, those are business ideas that others wouldn't think of, but since you're in that world, you would. Wait, so Mikhail, are you talking about like buying actual art or what? Never got a notification? Man, they're trying to hose me on TikTok. Yeah, paintings. I'm 41. We're say. Uh, so I'm not into art, but I have seen people talking about how they diversify their investments into art, and that's cool. I wouldn't do it, but for other people, I could see it. I just don't know enough about the art market to really give a sensible response on if you should or not. Man, you're trying to find everything about me. Say what's going on, man? You're making me nervous, bro. Are you gonna ask me for my address next? You don't know, but some of us politicians earn more than Warren Buffett, so I think it's better you can copy them and paste this. Are you talking about Nancy Pelosi, Mohammed? They say Nancy Pelosi is the GOAT. The GOAT. Blood type. I dream of living in America. I've lived in multiple states. I've been to more. Insider trading, it's so hard, dude. There are so many things going on in the background that if you try to insider trade, you will likely be caught. There are so many things in the background monitoring everything. It's so hard to get away with insider trading. It is not worth it. Yeah, unless you get away with it. But most people are never getting away with it. But when you make the laws and decide on budget and pick the contract recipients, yeah, I just can't believe they're allowed to do it, man. It's crazy. What I don't even know how to answer your question, we're say. I think people should be able to do whatever they want to do as long as they're not infringing on others' rights. Did you see that person that bought up Bitcoin and sold it like a minute before the drop? No, that's crazy. It's so easy to check and catch them, but system corrupt, so they are fine. Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing, Diane. Tell me more about your question, Wersay. I have no problem talking about anything, but I want to, make sure your question is right. Look it up when you get time. Oh no. Yeah, these guys are all over the place now. These guys are all over the place. I live in the CIS, but I love living in Finland. Wait, now you totally changed where you're at. All right, somebody throw out a topic. I'll start talking about it until actual questions come in. Renovations to your home. Ooh, this is actually a really good one. You got to save up for it. You got to know what you want to do and when you want to do it, and start planning for it. Start setting money aside. You should always be setting money aside for the future, for things just like that. It's just hard because you don't really think about it until you want to do it. What is the best annuity? Diane, I hate to say this, but I'm not actually a huge fan of annuities. I think there are other options for income where you get to keep the assets, but annuities can generally give you a higher guaranteed income. So it's hard for me to pick a specific answer. Bankruptcy, giant curse, or lucky break? Man, I think there is some relief had with it, or that can be had with it, but it also does a lot to people's psyches. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a really good question. Ooh, free advice, girl. We're talking about annuities in the YouTube chat. Free Advice Girl used to work at USAA and help people with annuities. Is there anything you'd like to throw in chat, Free Advice Girl, about annuities that people should maybe think about? Yeah, she's dead, so it's okay talking about this. But my mom filed for bankruptcy as well. It gave her the peace she needed and wanted, and I just think before you get to bankruptcy, there are a lot of other routes to go, and sometimes it does get too late to take any of those routes. Ooh, free advice, girl. She's my wife's crazy. She's hanging out with 4 kids and still trying to be in the chat, say what's up. Yeah, it's always nice when free advice comes in. All right, free advice, girl. I think you guys can see her chat there, but annuities are for a very specific person. I couldn't agree more. So, Diane, I'm glad my wife added that. Even though I might not be a fan of annuities and I think you could do better, call JG Wentworth 877 cash now. All right, sorry guys. But an annuity is the perfect investment for the right type of person. So if that's you, don't let some bald guy with a beard tell you he doesn't like annuities, because they're absolutely the right investment for some people. Absolutely. I need some cash and I need it now. Call JG Wentworth 877 cash now. 877 cash now. Whole bus 5 and out. That's what we do here at Free Advice Guy. Hey, and if you guys haven't yet, go into my bio. I have a Patreon. It's free. I'm going to give you the whole spiel now. It's free. We do push-ups. We do weekly community Q&As that are private with just the Discord. I'm sorry, just the Patreon community, and then yeah, a lot of things happen there. You get early access to all of our videos. If you haven't seen any of my videos, it would mean a lot to me if you watched one and liked it. We do have a video coming out in 30 minutes, actually. 30 minutes. You know what? I'm going to check this out. We're going to get a shareable link. Shareable link. New video, whoops, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And boom. Sorry guys, you're about to see me go through all the chats and put this here. Don't need the cash now. What's it about? So I do, what I ultimately want to do here, Mikhail, is essentially be a financial advisor for the world and be free. And if I've helped somebody enough and they want to support the mission, they can contribute to a tier of it. But otherwise, these videos that we do are me walking the streets, or I went to TwitchCon last weekend. I think it was last weekend. I guess it was a week and a half ago now. Wow, is that almost 2 weeks ago? That's crazy. Anyway, but we walk around and I hold a sign. I wish I had my sign because I show it to you right now. But it says, "Do you want free financial advice? Ask me anything." And I walk around and answer people's questions. All right, there we go. Man, Stream Elements just hit with 4 things in a row. Annuities give you guarantees, but they also have fees. Yeah, that's a really good one. Free advice, girl. Have you heard any good biz creation success stories lately? Uh, I'm not with an epic beard, yes sir. Um, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about this, but my friend works. Oh man, I can't even remember the full details of what he does. Something with Medicare, but he makes 500 grand a month. 500 grand a month, or no, I think it was a week. Yeah, because he's making about 26 million a year. He's making about 500 grand a week. Has something to do with something with Medicare. I don't know. I don't know. It is ridiculous. And he's a young kid. He's like 19 or 20 years old. He stumbled upon the infinite money glitch. Oh, yeah. Push ups time. All right, give me a sec. Is it a legit better thing? Wait, is what vetted? I'm so sorry, Mikhail. Is what vetted? My videos? My conversations? All right, give me one sec. Push up time. I'm dying. Uh, so I'm gonna say yes because they have to do vetting to manage his money, but they all are a little bit skeptical. But he seems to have just found his niche. Yeah, that is what he feels. But he has been doing it for about a year and a half now, and nothing has happened. Yeah. So maybe they'll be asked by the FBI at some point to provide some context on him. Who knows? I do live at home. My home. I live in my home, brother. Uh, Even though you're a troll, I will answer your question. I'm a certified financial planner professional. I've been one since 2014. That means I'm a fiduciary. As a financial advisor, I have to do what's in your best interest. I have no products or classes to sell anybody. Everything is free. Any money that is given to me is given through donations. And I worked at Vanguard for 13 years or over 13 years. And I quit my job to help people achieve financial literacy through advice, guidance, and education. What you got to say now, hater? Bubba Steele. Can't let the trolls get you. I said I used to go to church with, got arrested for being involved in some scam. Sometimes those things go south after a while. Yes. Oh, I had a friend in high school. I mean, we were friends out of high school as well, but I stopped seeing her at some point because she got involved with a group, and she eventually went to jail for like 5 or 6 years for check fraud. I forgot exactly the story, but yeah. Bubba, show us your account balances then. I simply do not care enough to prove anything to you, Bubba. Look me up. Free advice guy. You can find all my information, all my history, all the licensing exams I've passed, everything. Everything is one click away, Bubba Steele. One click away. But I also, Bubba, I've been thinking about this. Should I get gold bars behind me to show that I'm wealthy and rich so people will follow me? Maybe get a gold tooth just to flex. I'm just trying to help people, Bubba. I don't care about how it looks. I have given you no advice, Bubba. None. Get a gold tattoo. I dig it. Listen, Bubba's upset about what I'm doing, but he's in my chat trolling me. So if we're talking levels here, I don't know, Bubba. I don't know. It's okay to hate what I'm doing, but you're wasting your time in here, you know? Yeah, gold tooth would be pretty funny. He put actual gold in his skin. That's how serious he is about this. You sound like the drunk uncle that always has an investment plan. Only you didn't have so much child support. I dig it, bro. I dig it. You should probably find another channel then, Bubba. You should probably find another one. Potato fail. Hey, 25, 100K liquid cash, zero debt, unemployed. What is my next step? Well, it sounds like this 100K is your emergency fund, Potato. So at this point in your life, right, you have a budget, you build an emergency fund. For me, it's 12 months of basic living expenses so that you can make the next best move instead of feeling like you have to make the fastest move because you just need money, if that makes sense. So build up your emergency fund, figure out what that is. And honestly, until you secure your income, I don't know how much investing I would do at this point. But if you feel comfortable with your emergency fund, you then set goals for the money, and then we could talk about investment choices. Internet morons are definitely weird, Mikhail. I don't know. planning or lunging, you get old, or lounging, you get old quick. Yeah, I try to do a little bit of activity. Over in my Twitch chat, my boy Soft here, we were doing a physical challenge in July right up until my son was born, and then I just stopped. Hey, Potato Fail. Wait. How do we know each other, Potato Fail? Did we play Valorant together? I just looked at our chat history. We've known each other since 2022, my friend. We've known each other for 3 years, Potato. Wait, is this Potato? Like V-Tato? No, it's not Tato. Oh yeah, I do. It's much different now than when we first met, Potato. Much different now. So back then I was just a gamer. Now I'm a free financial advisor, you know? Trying to change the world. But then we got Bubba over here, who's a hater. Bubba, why you gotta hate me? Yeah, that's very true, Mikhail. It's very true. That's why, honestly, I tell people to save 20%, and people don't really want to hear. Yeah, Potato, I haven't played games in so long, man. I played like the other night for the first time in a while. I was bad. But they should save significantly more so they can retire early. I think that should be everybody's goal. 60K in bonds and 60K on VU is a good investment plan. How old are you, Rui? For someone who is 50% stocks and 50% bonds, that's a pretty conservative portfolio, especially if you're a young man. If you are retired, a 50-50 portfolio, ooh, okay. So I'm not going to tell you that's bad or good, because if you came up with that allocation, it's probably based on your risk tolerance. But that's the most important part of investing, that it matches with your time horizon and risk tolerance. So I'm 41. I'm 100% stocks. But that's because if the stock market lost 90% tomorrow, I'm looking for pennies that I can invest into the stock market, if that makes sense. So if that aligns with your investment philosophy, then it can work. The one thing you have to make sure, though, is that you stay at that 50-50. So if let's just go over a bad case scenario where stocks tank. That means your 50% of stocks going to lose value. Now maybe it's at 35% of your overall portfolio, and now 65% of your portfolio is bonds. You need to now take advantage of that buying opportunity, move those bonds, get you back to a 50-50 allocation so that you buy low. So if and when the market recovers, you not only recoup everything you lost, you're actually ahead because you were able to buy shares of stock while they were low. My plan on the bonds is not income, but to reinvest on my position on VU for the buying the lows. Yep, that's exactly it. That's called rebalancing, Rui. That is that's Eric. So that's one thing I like bonds. That's why some people, even if they're super aggressive, will be like 90% stocks, 10% bonds, so that they have some money to invest. But 50% of your portfolio sitting in bonds is woefully underperforming stocks over the long term, Rui. Even if you're planning to buy the dips, you're going to miss out on a lot of potential compounding growth because you're waiting for the dips. Because what a lot of people end up doing, right? Market's here, and they're going to wait for a dip. So, right, it starts here, and then it starts to go up, and then we get a dip. But that dip is actually higher than if you would have just bought it back in the day, right? And another thing I like to tell people is today's all-time high is generally next year's buying opportunity if you are looking every year. It's not always the case, but it could definitely happen. The other thing I would look at, VU is very popular right now, Rui. Very popular. For the last 10 years, large cap stocks have dominated the US and really the world stock market. Yep, wholly can be lucrative. What you're missing, though, that's only 500 stocks. You're missing like 2,800, 2,900 other stocks in the US stock market. your small caps and your mid caps. So you're missing a large portion of the market that has the largest runway for growth. Historically, before these last 10 years, small cap has outperformed large cap, but the last 10 years has been weird. Unless something totally tanks, getting it today will likely end up in more value later. Yeah, especially if we're talking like 20, 30 years from now. My problem is I invest in my ISA account in UK and can only put 20K, so I want to move but have that cap yearly without holding tax payments on my returns. All right, so now we're talking a little bit about UK. I have to be fully upfront with you in that I am not an expert on the UK stuff. But you could still pick a different allocation within your overall portfolio. But I don't know how the tax stuff is going to go. Isn't there some change being talked about to allow more consumers market access? I mean, they've been talking about that for years. When I worked at Vanguard, we got in, they opened up Vanguard UK or whatever, and the whole thing was making it easier for people to get into investing. It just hasn't fully come out as easy as it is here in America. But that's where the laws and the regulations make things tough. Up front with Kevin, trying to pay off my credit cards. Do you recommend closing them? Uh, so there's two answers to this up front. Or Keith, if you are, uh, if you think it's going to keep causing you problems, then you do have to have the understanding of yourself and discipline in yourself to know if you should open or close them. But if you leave them open, having available credit with zero balances, having them open and keeping them at zero balances or paying them off every month is better for your overall credit picture to have available balances. Does that make sense? But again, a lot of it comes down to are you uh, are you going to be able to stay smart and strong with it? That's the big thing. I lock the cards so I don't use them. All right, that's a good place to go. If you have lots of revolving unsecured debt, don't pay off your car early as it can badly affect credit. It's interesting. I've never heard that one. I think in the long run, though, getting all debts paid off is the best. In yo. So yeah, if you could be smart about it, Keith, I wouldn't close them because you have the available credit and it looks good for when you're going to apply for other credit. But if it's going to cause you strife and trouble in your life, get rid of those bad boys. In your view, it's worth to study an allocation on a mid-cap Vanguard fund. No. So Rui, if I were to buy, if I wanted to buy U.S. stocks, I would look at a total stock market index fund, which would have large, mid, and small caps. It would have the entire U.S. stock market weighted, but that's not how everybody should invest. You look at balances, paying off a secure loan can lower that. Oh, interesting. Pay off cars first to lower balance over losing a car payment. Okay. And your rate is probably much better on the car than it is on your credit cards anyway. All right. I'll keep that in mind. That's something I should research. I can help people with credit stuff, but I definitely can't get into like deep specifics or things like that. I paid off my car and I made my score drop. Interesting. I think that happens anytime you pay off a whole loan though, for whatever reason. Man, it happened to both of you. That's crazy. Well, I'm going to take that as more gospel than me because I have not been through that. You would think the payoff would be losing debt, but it appears to be weighted differently due to security, and it also has to do with overall balances. I mean, that kind of makes sense. You're more trustworthy if your debt is secured, so that kind of makes sense to me. Credit scoring is also not an exact science. That's very true. Even the people who are experts will be like, "Well, this is what should happen." Like, what do you mean should happen? What's going on here? Really? They changed up the algorithm for credit? I did not know any of this. You know, they have Credit Advantage or whatever. Yes, they changed the version. Okay. Hey, Mikhail, did I just show up on your feed? Did you search something and I came up? I would love to know how you found my page. I was actually hitting a lot that I was asking YouTube to not show me. Interesting. And then boom, I popped up. Hey, I'm glad, man. I honestly, I go through different things on if I should like pay for marketing to get the stream out there more, to get the videos out there more. But I kind of just want to do it the natural way. Let word of mouth happen. If I'm providing value to the world, the message will get spread. If I'm not providing value to the world, free advice guy will die. I appreciate the questions, Mikhail. I'm glad you found me. I saw a guy who literally just reads comments. He didn't even really answer them. Yo, really? Answering questions is like my favorite part because I'm hoping that it will change their life, right? I got to think of better phrasing because I'm trying not to be cheesy, but I really am trying to change people's lives, you know? But it's like, what should I do or how should I proceed in getting more people to know about the stream? We post a lot of content. So now that you've been in here, you might start to see my either TikToks, YouTubes, Instagrams, something like that. Oh, I like that. Hey, what's up, Moon Boys Podcast? Good morning. Where are you that it's morning? But hey, to give you some background here, Moon Boy, this is an Instagram comment. I'm a certified financial planner professional. I worked at Vanguard for over 13 years, and I quit my job to change the world and help millions of people achieve financial literacy. I think it's awesome you're giving stuff away. Some will never accept that, period, due to the amount of scamminess and insecurity on the internet. Yeah, I think the my hope for defeating that, even though you are 100% correct, is that because I literally never ask for money for anything. Like even my Patreon, there's a $5 one, $10 one, 2,500. It's whatever people want to contribute. You know what I mean? But really, all that gets you is early access to the videos and higher priority if you want to actually have a conversation. But you know, about getting financial advice. I think the key is just to do what you want to meet your goal and don't worry about the folks. Rando's gonna rando. Yeah, I get a troll every few days or so in there. The trolls come much more frequently on TikTok, that's for sure. But TikTok forces people into your stream, so you get whoever wants to come in. And that's like the second or third time I've heard about. Oh, let's just look at a guy sitting in his basement. Like, well, I'm in the office. You know, I am in the office. Yeah, but I know I'm gonna have to go through some landmines to help people. That's okay. Plus, like I did earlier, your audience may engage them, and it also can help. Yeah, I like that. Everybody jumped in. Then we had Diane in there. Diane was like, "Listen here, bro, clean your act up." I hear you, Mikhail. Yeah, I got buddies of mine who want me to. They want me to charge for something, and I can't do it. The Patreon costs, you know, that's good enough for me. That's very true. Yeah, I bet you if I charged a lot more an hour, I'd get more people who would want to give me their money. I charge $1,000 per hour. I guarantee I get somebody who's like, "Ooh, I can afford that," but I refuse to do it. I refuse. Man, Moon Boy. Yeah, I like that too. During the great hardware debacle, GPU shortage. Oh man, Yeah, dude, the that was a wild time. Yeah, people were getting crazy amounts for GPUs. I thankfully bought my computer like right before all that happened, and then my next computer after all that was over. Man, really? We went from mining to a short break to AI. That's true. That is very true. Hey, what's up, football life? Yeah, tariffs didn't help. Don't know where your push-ups are at now, but 40 is a good goal for the day. I'm definitely not at 40 anymore, Soft. I'm definitely not at 40. I was crushing 100 a day, no problem. Even got some with a little bit more. And then my baby was born. Yeah, most people don't. But even with not understanding it, they know their stuff there. Okay. What's up, kiddos? Agreed. We NAFTA was a pretty terrible trade agreement. We sold out a lot of our wealth. America used to have over 50% of the entire world's wealth. Over 50%. Harvard Health study that men who can do 40 or more consecutive push ups have a 96% lower risk of heart disease. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy. But I mean, doing 40 is kind of crazy in a row. Like, that's not nothing. Yeah. I'm worried about the debt to GDP. We're getting close to that 1.3 number. That is a little bit scary. Historically, when we've crossed over that 1.3, bad things have happened around the world. I'm hoping that will not be the case here. Yeah, it's tough. We're essentially hoping that the people who broke it will fix it. All right, psychological fate. Created the account yesterday, getting banned today. And they sent two messages back to back. I think back in July when I was banging them out, with the push ups I'm doing now, I probably could have done between 15 and 20 in one set. But my push ups now are much different. Embarrassingly, much different. Hold on a second. My screen's just got jacked up. There we go. All right. Yes, exactly, banana. You just might be a banana. That's hey Mikhail. This is just you just might be a banana. Is my videographer, friend, and dream producer here. We think we need too much money. These companies want such a huge safety blanket, and they don't want to pay anyone. Look at where increases we're seeing. Fast food. Yep. Agreed. A lot of we do something in America that other countries don't do. We tell our 18-year-olds to get out. When in reality, if we wanted better economic situations for our entire families, we would stick together as a family forever. You know what I mean? Oh man, football life came in, said hello, and then didn't say anything else. What happened, football life? What happened? Yeah, so Richard, they denied my application to stream to TikTok through Streamlabs, and I have to wait 9 days now to do it. So that's poo poo. 20 to 40 years ago, who cut your grass if you didn't do it? 20 years ago, when I was a 20-year-old man, I think I know where you're going with this, but it actually hasn't changed for me since like the mid 90s. Yep. Yep, soft, that's exactly it. My mom, before I graduated high school, she's like, hey, let's go out to dinner. I'm like, all right. And she's like, hey, you're going to need to think about where you're going to live when you graduate. I'm like, I'm 17. I'm 17. Hey, so in Texas, I think I'm allowed to say this. In Texas, there were a lot of entrepreneurial black businesses that did the lawns and all that sort of stuff. Landscapers. But that could have just been where I was in Texas as well. But it was quite a bit. That might be a little too serious for stream, but we're here now. We're here now. That's very true. It's very true. I think it's a little different now too because back in the day, kids could use their parents' tools and go start a business with it. Now it's a little more difficult. So the upstarts, all we get is big companies or expensive labor. Yeah, I've tried to have this conversation with friends of mine who are not great with economics and they don't understand certain facts about things like how much. Ooh, you were on your own at 17? Man, big homie. I'm learning more and more. I'm peeling this onion back. The internet taught everyone how to think more in efficiency. Everyone is a Shark Tank. Yeah. Yo, what's up, Baconator? And then there's me who had the opportunity to leave home to go to an out of city university, but ended up staying local because my parents didn't want me to leave. Hey, that happens. You probably ended up in a much better financial situation with that, even if it wasn't necessarily your ideal situation. You know? You know? Baconator, I feel like you came from. Oh, are you from Lala? Lala, Simplify. Starting out great and nerdy, now it's full of ads, scams, sales, and algos. Yes, it is. Oh, Drew's stream. Yo, Drew's a great dude, man. Meeting him in person, he was, yeah, he was great, man. How long have you been following Drew? Like a week? Oh, okay. How'd you stumble upon him? So, Mikhail, but I've talked to people about the economics of all these sort of things, that regulation is harmful for regular people. And they're like, no, all it does is protect people. I'm like, that's just simply not the case. It does not just protect people, it makes the costs go up. It makes it harder for a new business to start. Like, imagine you wanted to build the next Amazon. It would feel impossible. Impossible. Yeah, it really does. Yep, the bar to entry. Not too long, but I already know. Oh, he's great people, man. From the Amori category, I like to watch playthroughs from time to time. Okay. I don't do enough gaming anymore. Yeah, hit me with another one, big homie. So I used to be Baconator. I used to be a gaming streamer. I started Free Advice Guy, and I just played Valorant every night. Met a bunch of people, and then I switched to being a free financial advisor. Big change. Big change. My brother's ex started a flower shop way back in like maybe mid 2000s. One day, a person comes in talking about taxes and all her shelving and etc. Yo, hey, I hope this is okay to say, but my friend Richard, who you met at TwitchCon, is in recovery. Big homie, Baconator, and yeah, I get the whole saving aspect and everything, but to be honest, I think more than anything, it screwed me over. Yeah, I totally get that, Baconator. You probably would have grown a lot as a human being if you had gone off to school in a specific area, you know? Away from your family, you get to grow, do what you want to do, stuff like that. Also, instead of enforcing existing laws and auditing better, they just layer on more law. Yeah, I agree. Every new law is taking away a right. I tell my wife all the time the first lawyer was just some guy who spoke and argued well, probably. I feel that, big homie. I have nobody of my direct family, but tertiarily connected I have I'm just going to say, a sister-in-law who is missing most of her teeth. Most of them. It happens. All right. We got another, like, I think 7 minutes or so. Wait, how long does this say I'll be live? 4 o'clock? I'll hang out. I'll hang out. I'm all caught up on day one of TwitchCon. Let's go. Day two. Oh man, I totally missed it. Day two released. Yo, I missed it. It released 24 minutes ago. Day one. Or day two, I'm sorry. Day two. 24 minutes ago. Let's go. Yeah, but you're probably right, Mikhail. Just some dude who knew how to fight. My biggest complaint about the internet is everyone thinks they know a thing now and just spends a ton of time yelling at someone or criticizing. Hey, that's okay, Mikhail. I am one of these guys. Um, hey, I hope so, big homie. Uh, but it's very true. We're like all mad at each other. We all want to fight. I appreciate that, Mikhail. Hey, we'll see how long I can do it. You know what I mean? I hope to be able to do it forever. But at some point, we have to reach a critical mass. So, a lot of people know that it's available. And then I'm not quite sure how, but hey, thanks for the YouTube sub. But then we got to figure out a way to connect to people and see if they want to donate to the mission. But we got time for that. Right now, I just want to build up a community, help a bunch of people get to where they want to go, and then adjust from there. What I really figure here, Mikhail, is this is what I want to do with my life. My original plan with Free Advice Guy was to actually start this when I retired from working, and my wife essentially said, "Why wait?" I was like, "Well, we have children and all that, but we had faith." Yes, sir. And really, last week is when I just got really back into streaming for the first time. So, let's see here. So, the stock I mentioned earlier, just to give the qualifications for it again. If you want to own the U.S. stock market and you want to own it weighted, it's the total stock market index fund. And you can find that at really any place. I have a bias because I worked at Vanguard, so I am very familiar with VTI. But it's all based on your risk tolerance. But that gives you the entire U.S. stock market, 500 index fund, small cap, mid cap, weighted the way it's market capped in the market, if that makes sense. Okay. That happened to me either yesterday or the day before Soft. Yeah, it was the same thing for me. I'm like, Justin Bieber, is this a troll? And I opened it and he was really streaming. I kind of like that, Mikhail. My main issue though, and I'm a stubborn guy. I understand. Yeah, Mikhail just got a Justin Bieber thing too. He's taking over, man. Um, but I want to be different, right? All the finance bros are the same. They have their charts up. They talk about what they're doing. And I don't want to sucker people in here. I used to hang out in stocks and bonds and education when I was in, or for YouTube, and stocks and bonds for Twitch. But it's not it's not quite what I do, and it always felt weird when somebody would come in. Hey, what's the hottest stock right now? And I'd be like, actually, let's talk about why an individual stock is riskier than and it's just a little tough when I'm literally starting a conversation with saying, hey, don't do what you asked me. Don't do what you asked me a question on. So you worked at Vanguard, correct? Yes. They do have a mobile app. Can you help me navigate said app? I'll be straight with you. I was never an app expert, big homie. I've done everything through the computer. Everything. So I don't know that I could walk you through it, but I could try. I could try. But unfortunately, it's like a grocery store decorations and item placement and works with the brain. Totally get it. Based Quans, welcome to the Instagram. I don't have a computer because I'm never at home. I totally get that. But I'm sure we can figure it out. I do have the app, even if I don't really use it. I appreciate that, Mikhail. I just feel like if I'm going to be successful, I'm going to do it on my terms because I have friends who really care about, me or whatever, and they give me ideas. And the idea I've heard the most is do reaction videos to Dave Ramsey. And I get it. It's an easy way to get clicks, it's an easy way to drive traffic, but I just can't do it. It just doesn't feel right. I like that, Mikhail. I like it. Yes, it is the red V. Let me go ahead and pull it up just to confirm. I literally only use the app to log in with the security to get on my computer. That's it. But yes, it is the red V. Vanguard. I never like blowing my own horn during performance reviews. I thought my boss should know, but as I've aged, I've realized sometimes. Yes, I paid that penalty a lot, Mikhail. You just assume because you're killing it, you're doing good work, that of course your boss is going to know, and that of course by the end of the year, they're going to have this just long list of the things you did. And then you get to the year end, they're like, so what'd you do this year? And you're like, were you not keeping track of all that? Yeah, I learned that lesson, unfortunately, multiple times, Mikhail. Multiple times. They have short attention spans, and honestly, it's probably better for the company in some way. Yeah, well, if everybody's not paying attention to their performance, they can't ask for the money they deserve. And that's where I got hosed. I should have had, I don't want to get in too much detail, but I should have had better um, ratings reviews. I never got a bad one. I was always at minimum fully successful. But then, there's distinguished and other things that separate you. And I should have gotten that a couple more times, I think, but I didn't tell my story well enough. And that happens. They play the right game, right? But it's always kind of wild in the corporate setting. People become bosses, and you're like, you are a manager. Interesting. So I love the principle. You should never do something scummy, but some self-side promotion is okay. I'll consider it. I think I'm just gonna keep pushing people to my to the Patreon. Let them do what they want there. If I have 1 million people in there for free, that's okay. At least then maybe the content will be monetized, so YouTube will pay me. I don't really care about the money, but at some point, you know, the ends have to meet. But hey, at some point, if I have to flex, I'll flex. You know what I mean? I'll try not to let free advice guy die due to stubbornness. Yeah, I agree. I want to get people to a certain spot. Ultimately, I would like to be known as it's kind of joking, but the free budget guy. Like when people are talking about money and they want to ask a question, I just want people to be like, bro, you have to have a budget. Like I want everyone to understand the 5 steps to success, 5 steps to financial success. I've had project managers go on site and totally act uninterested, then blame a technician for not doing something right. Yeah, that's unfortunately how a lot of managers end up being. Not very cool, but it absolutely happens. Yeah, I don't get it. Man, you know what's funny? This is totally outside, but I took a Tesla. I rode in my friend's Tesla to TwitchCon this year, and that was my longest Tesla ride by a wide margin. And it was awesome. The self driving is awesome. It's crazy. I think I'm a Tesla guy now. It's hard, but I'm an automotive now, and I fixed a problem that had been there for at least 10 years. Wow, and fixed it in a day. Man, yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes you bring in an outsider who's like willing to look at something differently than everyone else. When my manager assigned it to me, he was rushing the crap out of me. Man, man. right now. All right, give me one sec here, and then we will hit the final stretch. Dude, we're going to talk, well, I'll talk about the self-driving in a second, but it was an absolute game changer. The whole trip was different because it took us an extra like hour and a half because we had to charge, and yet somehow the trip felt shorter. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Yeah, big homie, if you're still there, I really like the intro to today's video. I love it. I totally use self-driving. I would have my car drive me everywhere. Yeah. So I have multiple friends who have Teslas, and they don't trust them in the cities for whatever reason, but they trust them on the freeway. And I got to see it, man. On the freeway, it was absolutely beautiful. We actually got to, it's not really safe, but we got to shoot content. We were hanging the camera just to be straight. But yeah, we were hanging the camera on the visor, but still, it was awesome. So the way my buddy sold me on it, he's like, the cars themselves will last forever. You just might have to replace a battery every 8 to 10 years or so for $20,000. But otherwise, the car will keep going. Although now that I know the computer systems are different, the hardware systems are different. So if you have an old one, you have to get upgraded to the new computer system, which is wild. One sec. Yes, it is the iPhone of cars. I completely agree with that. I didn't realize I was muted there for a second. My bad. I got spammed by two people with similar accounts but different. But it is the iPhone of cars. It is essentially a phone on wheels. But I have to say, I enjoyed it. Way more than I thought I was going to. Way more than I thought I was going to. But it was cool. All right, one second. All right. Today's like my first normal day of streaming on all platforms. The real life discussions is great content. Just need to keep improving. Are you talking about in the videos or the streams? Hit me with more soft. If you have ideas on improving, I'm definitely into taking those. In my opinion, they should build some separate infrastructure for self-driving until the regulatory hurdles. That'd be kind of cool. A big super loop that goes around the country, splits states in half or something like that. I don't know. He wants to build all the underground stuff, which could be pretty cool. They're so nervous about it's going to take forever. Yeah. And they're trying to do so. Tesla's system is so much better than the other ones because they're on like tight circuits and things like that. Whereas Teslas are made to adapt to anywhere. So we'll see what happens. But this battle is impressive. Yeah, I agree. I'm not much into individual stocks. I've shared all the reasons and stuff, but Tesla's a stock because it is uh, doing so much more than just the car that it has so much more potential. Whereas a lot of these companies are in their lane, Tesla's going to go. I mean, it's all robotics type stuff, but um, I think you could be better at asking other people questions. I agree. It's like the same question over and over again, which I like, but it could be better. I think all the road experience Musk has. Yeah, well, and they all share information. Their little network of information sharing is awesome. Is CTR the click through rate? Not high, not as high as we'd like. Soft. We are experimenting with thumbnails and things, thumbnails, titles. We have not been doing well on that. It stinks, but it is true. It is true. But what's really weird is a video we released last week had over a 10% click through rate. Uh, it was like 4% likes. No, it was higher than 4% likes on views. I forgot. But it felt like a video that was going to pop. And it even gave me a little like alert. It was like, this video is being clicked through at a higher rate than your other videos. Nice. And it stayed there. It did eventually drop to like 8%, but then it just like stopped being pushed at that point. I don't know. It was weird. I'm trying to shoehorn electrification into the same old OG car design mentally. Yep, agreed. If they really want to attack electric, they have to like rethink how they build cars. Like the Mach E was interesting, but man, you sold my Marvel Rivals game months ago. Wait, how did I sell it? What do you mean, Soy? Are you wait? Are you saying I threw? You were a teammate of mine and I threw? I have never thrown ever. This is not true. I'm taking you to court, soy. I have never thrown a game before. Wait, if I was Hulk, that means something was going wrong with the team. I would only go Hulk because the team needed it. I would never play Hulk willingly. Never. So I play video games and I'm a free financial advisor, soy. Yeah. If it was Mayday, we were in deep trouble if I'm on Hulk. Our chances of a dub are not very high. But you get to be two characters at once. That's very true. You get to shoot that little green gun. Pew, 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 pew. You think I should get a business degree? It depends on what you want to do with it, big homie. A business degree can get your foot in the door to a lot of places. A degree in anything can get your door into a lot of places, or get your foot in the door of a lot of places. But it all depends on if you're going to be able to leverage that degree into a good job. Cloak and Dagger would probably be easier. Yes, I do like Cloak and Dagger. Hey, thanks, Soy Soy. Cloak and Dagger is my go-to healer. Do I even play another healer? I tried playing Mantis, but I'm terrible. I'll do a little bit of Rocket, not great. Ultron, not great. But they are fun. Oh, Luna. Luna Snow. So you have to determine what type of person you are, big homie. Because if a lot of people who get into personal finance do not like accounting, and vice versa, they generally don't line up exactly. Just say no to accounting. It is very boring. Yo, what's up, Caden? Welcome to the Instagram. Today's day 2 of the Instagram streams. I'm everywhere, Caden. If you have another site that you prefer. What is the cost per bean in this can? Exactly. Not fun. Generally, a good question to ask when you guys come up with the titles and thumbnails is, if I was a completely random person who didn't know or care about Free Advice Guy at all, would I click on this video? I like that. What's the thing that's you're drawing to? So, big homie, I was a financial advisor for a little under 2 years at Vanguard. I got into management, and then I went back into advice as an advisor manager, and I'm moving up. And the higher I started to move up, the further away I got from clients. And I kept being drawn back to work with clients, but not in the way that a company would do it. Yo, what's up, K-Day? On my Instagram. What's up, brother? But I kept being drawn back to this, and I wanted to do it my way. So now I'm here. You know what I mean? I gotta think about that a lot, Soft. I gotta do a lot better with titles and all that. I almost want to go back through and rename all of my videos. What don't you like, my friend? So it's more I didn't want to manage people's money, and I wanted to help more people who don't normally get help. Right? Because financial advice is generally not something people get until later in life, and generally when they already have money. You know what I mean? Do the Ramsey and say you were at rock bottom and you had to start at 0. I did not have to do that. I was raised by a single mom and had to build myself up. But yeah, finding your thing is interesting. Hey, I appreciate it, Mikhail. Hey, I'm about to get out of here. We got about 2 minutes left on this stream, and then it's family time. I've always enjoyed woodworking, but that stuff is expensive. That's true, but that I have a friend, big homie. He works his normal job and he does that on the side. He's really good with woodworking, so he's created some pretty awesome things, right? But when you do that handcrafted stuff, people are willing to pay a little bit more. I think people like seeing a couple have their financial life turn apart on stream. That's very true. Gives a soap opera like quality. I'm not going to say who it is, Mikhail, but I don't want to do that either. I want people to feel welcome and open to come in here, no matter how bad they are. And we're going to talk about actionable steps to get them into a better financial position. That's all I want to do. If I have to do anything else, I'm out. All right, not really, but it's more difficult, you know? So when I make a budget, plan for my worst month of income, then anything extra gets accounted for after. Correct. So think about your lowest month, build your budget off of that, all your automatic savings and all that. But then at the end of every month, so this is another layer, big homie. You're going to have your checking account. You want to create a quote unquote zero balance. The one I like to throw out for people is $3,000. You never go below $3,000. It sits in your account. It's where your pay goes. You're going to automatically send money from that account to your investments. It's where your bills come out of and all that sort of stuff. And then the day before you get paid, if you have $3,300 sitting in that account, you take that $300 and you invest that bad boy or save it somewhere. And then you start the cycle all over again. It could be 1,000. The reason I like 3,000 is for the extra cushion, but you could probably get by with 1,000. You just want to have something in there because if some bill ends up costing more than you were anticipating and you go below your amount, it's not scary if it goes to like 29.50, but it might be scary if it goes to 9.50. Yeah, it's mostly for the purposes of the explanation. Just 3,000 ends up being a uh, an amount of money that people feel like a certain level of like comfort with having it there, if that makes sense. All right, guys, I have to end the stream. I will be back tomorrow's Thursday. I think I'm off tomorrow. I might randomly stream, but I'll definitely be back Friday and Saturday. If you haven't joined the Patreon group, join the Patreon group. Uh, we do community Q&As every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, I need to get that scheduled actually since we're talking about it. As well as some more stuff there. So, but I love you guys. I appreciate you. I will be back for sure Friday, maybe later or maybe earlier. Who knows? But have a good one, Mikhail. Great talking with you. Great to meet you. I'll be back. Let's change the world, everybody. All right. See you guys.